Tony Atlas on murder Bruiser Brody. Now this here, and you already heard talk about this several different times. He's been talking about this on a shoot interview since like the early 2000s. That's close to 20 years. And I don't think Tony's lying at all. He's told the truth, and he talked about it on that Dark Side ring of the ring thing. So talk to this guy's gonna talk about it again. So he told the same story about every time.
When Bruiser Brody got stabbed in Puerto Rico, I wrestled a sheep that night.
Really? And
like I say, the people were separated. You had a babyface dressing room, you had a heel dressing room. So any heel that talk about Brody is telling a lie. You understand?
Yeah.
The heel found out from the sheep, because when I came back from the hospital, it pissed me off. I got pissed off. Because all the guys were laughing and joking, like nothing happened. You know, it was like it never happened.
I remember that.
So that
that interview. Yeah. I remember the way he explained it. He didn't appreciate that. He said he walked in. Oh, I think it was on the Boston channel. That's what it was. He said he walked in the door. The guys, hey. He said he got real hot in that locker room. They said, Tony, take it easy. Woo! He said that ain't funny though. Yeah, he said they was laughing and joking. That's nothing to laugh at right there.
When I hear the guys patting each other on the back and talk about what a great match they had and all this and that stuff and blah 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 blah. So Carlos said, "Oh, I didn't expect you back." He said, "So we could do your match." So he told the referee, "Go tell the sheep that Tony here we could do the match now." That match lasted probably about 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Because not even that, I locked up in the sheep, and the sheep heard about me. He didn't know the story, so he said, "Oh, Atlas, what happened with the Brody?" And I said, "Jose stabbed him." Once I said that, the sheep said, "Hey, motherfucker, stabbed my friend, the Bruiser of a Brody. That motherfucker, give me a headbutt. We go home." So I gave him a headbutt. We fought back to the ring, and the sheep went to the heel dressing room and told the heels what happened. You understand?
Yeah.
Because that's how we found out. So that's why I've always seen these guys talking about they was there and this way. I pulled Brody out of the shower. You understand? I hear people say, well, Brody didn't say nothing to nobody but me. He came straight to me. I was sitting within 6 feet of him. I was the closest person to him when it happened. I was sitting right at the shower door. Everybody else was scared. When they asked, Brody was so heavy. See, when we had shows, they didn't sing good paramedics. The paramedic was an old man and a overweight, I would say, mother-age woman. When they put Brody on the girder, they couldn't lift him up. Brody at that time probably about 210.
I seen the pictures. Brody was a big dude.
You know, 6 foot 8.
I seen a few pictures of him. He's a big dude.
I went over and I pulled the girdle up for them. Somebody, I remember the old man asked him, "Can somebody help?" This is what if they told me they in the dressing room. If they tell you they were in that dressing room, this is what they did. The man said, "Can somebody help us put him in the ambulance?" Everybody in the dressing room did this.
I remember him telling they turned their back. I remember he said that.
Everybody. So if somebody go on your social, they were in the dressing room, ask them why they didn't help.
Yeah. Who else was in the dressing room? So apart from the locals, so I know Dutch was there.
These are people that I know for sure that was in the dressing room. Mark and Jay Youngblood. Nobody ever interviewed these guys. That's Rick Romero's son. I was drawing a picture of them when Brody walked over and he said, "Wow, I didn't know you could draw like that." He said, "I have drawings done of my son." Drawings done of my son. You wanted a picture.
I remember he said that.
He said they character drawing with the big head and the little body. He said, "Can you do a picture of my son for me?" And I said, "You got one with you?" He said, "Yes, because I had just left the world class, and I was blackballed by Vince, so you know I was on the shit list for every promoter because of my attitude, my, you know, I don't know if you know that I used to have a very bad temper. You know, I would fight.
Yeah, I think he said after he left that company, I think that's when he said in the late '80s he was homeless for close to 2 years. So yeah, he told that, and he told a story about the being homeless thing. That was nothing to pick at. That was horrible. So yeah, he talked about all of it. Yeah, because he thinks that he said that was it after he wrestled he said Puerto Rico. He said that was it. And he said nobody could find him or something because he was up in Maine stranded or something. That's no joke.
Right there, dropping the hat. I got, you know, I mean, just losing, you know, and getting that I don't give a shit mode. I'm controlling it a lot, you know. I have gotten control of my temperament. But anyway, make a long story short, he reached in his pouch to pull out a picture, and Jose came by and said, "Brody, can I talk to you, por favor?" Real nice, like, I mean, very nice, like. Brody still was holding his bag because we had just walked in the door. Mm. He was still holding his bag in his hand, and he said, "Sure." Brody took one step in the shower. He took 2 steps in the shower. Mm. As soon as that sucker foot touched the ground, this is what I hear.
He started to holler.
I was within 6 feet.
Remember you said it the last time. Yeah, he's making noise.
Mm. The second time he hollered, the first time he hollered, I looked up. The second time he hollered, he bent over. I sprung from my seat because Jose raised the knife like this, and I saw the knife in his hand. I reached over with one arm and I wrapped it around Brody's waist and I yanked him out of the shower. The knife came down and cut off part of his ponytail. Carlos Colon cut me off and ran in the shower and pushed Jose up against the wall and said, "No, Jose, no, Jose." I took Brody. Brody looked me in the eyes and said, "I'm hurt, brother. Don't let them, not him, them, don't let them hurt me anymore." I laid him on the floor. I stood over. Carlos tried to talk to him. I said, "Carlos, if you come over here, I'm going to knock your fucking head off your shoulder. I'm going to rip your head off your throat and shit down your throat." Brody tagged my pants leg and tell me let him talk. Carlos walked over to Brody. Carlos said, "Is anything I can do for you?" Brody said to Carlos Colon, "Take care of my family." The ambulance took about 45 minutes to come because it was in the beginning of the show.
Yeah, he said it. Yeah, because he said
so when the ambulance,
everything he said the same thing 5, 6, 7, 8 times because he said the show getting started, the ambulance took forever to get in there because everybody's pulling in. So that's what slowed it down from trying to get him out of there. So I mean, and he's probably gonna talk about he had to snatch some guy up by his shirt and pull him on the truck. He said, "You gonna get in?" He's like, "No." And the guy, he said Tony said he was strong as hell back then. Said he snatched the guy with one hand and pulled him up on the truck. Oh boy, pulled him up on the truck.
Guys got there. They asked another thing. They asked, would everybody like to go with him? I jumped up on everybody in the dressing room once again.
Probably turned, and yep, they turned around.
You understand? Yeah. Played deaf, dumb, and blind. I jumped on the back of the van wheel. There was a wrestler. His name was Hercules something. He had like a V shape. His son wrestled too. I can't think of his last name, but his first name they used to call him Hercules. I grabbed him and pulled him on the elevator with me. He said, "I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get involved." He said, "I said I own him." Oh yeah, another guy, Roberto Soto, was there. Roberto Soto was in the dressing room. So Roberto was helped me to talk to the ambulance driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roberto Soto was there. The 3 guys I know for sure was in the dressing room because I seen them, you know, when the action was going. Because a lot of the guys, like Dutch was there, but I think Dutch walked out.
So was Dutch in a heel dressing room at this time? Because he's always said, that he
was in the baby face.
Right.
He was in the baby face. This guy was in the baby face.
Yeah.
Dress room. But anyway, to make a long story short, I pulled him on the thing with me. He said, I don't want to get off. I said, all I want to do is to interpret for me. I can't speak Spanish. You know?
Yeah.
And so he went to the hospital with me. Now, what happened to him, a month later, he got shot in the back 5 times.
Damn.
Now, earlier that day, Brody worked out in the gym with me. Earlier that day. This is what Brody told me. He said, because things didn't go good, me and Brody. In fact, you believe it or not, we made up that day. But we got in a, you can ask, what was his name? Earl, he was in world class.
I'm not Earl Hebner. Oh, you're talking about Earl Hebner.
He used to tag team with the Thumper.
Don't know that one.
His name was Eric somebody.
Eric Embry.
Embry, that's him. Yeah, he told me to leave because they called the police on me. I wanted to fight Brody because I was tag team with the Dingo Warrior, which later became
Ultimate
the Ultimate
Warrior. Yep.
We were tag team partners, and
He was in Texas.
Us.
Yeah, he was talking about Texas.
So the Ultimate Warrior was getting ready to go to Japan, and Vince heard about it and heard about him. So Vince told him, if you give up your trip to Japan, I can bring you here to make more money. Well, I had no place to go after doing the Black Atlas gimmick. You know, after George Scott left, he left Brody in charge. So I went to Puerto Rico. Carlos told me I could come there to work full time, and that's what I was going to do. So this was going to be me. All I had left was Puerto Rico, you know. And so Brody came up to me, held out his hand, and said, "Look, I saw what happened with you in Texas." He said, "But it won't happen here." He said, "There's going to be a lot of changes." These Brody words, he can't speak up, so I'm speaking for him. There's going to be a lot of changes. He said, "What happened in Texas, I had nothing to do with." He said, "I just did as I was told because Kerry Von Erich was in an accident and lost a foot. So he was coming back, and the Ultimate Warrior was a muscle man, Tony Atlas a muscle man. All 3 of us got the same gimmick. That's why Abdul the Butcher and Kamada did not get along, but they had the same gimmick. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, anyway, he said there going to be a lot of changes here.
Yeah,
He said,
Atlas,
I waited. Now, you
Von
figure out
Erich
what this means.
lost his foot.
I waited a long time to get down, to get here. He said, I waited a long time to get in here. That I know he wasn't talking about wrestling. He'd been going in Puerto Rico for years. So the only thing I can think about, he bought into the company. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
And he said, I'm either going to get what I want or I'm going to beat the hell out of him. When I saw Dutch Mantel and Brody at the Tanamon sitting on the steps, I said, "Brody, why are you here?" I called Carlos earlier. I told him I'll be a little bit late because the guy from the muscle factory that owned the gym, he wanted to go to see me wrestle. And I told him, I said, "Hey, if you give me a ride to buy your home, then you can get in free with me." He said, "It's okay, I'll bring my wife or girlfriend." I said, "Yes." So I saw when I left the beach and went upstairs to change, Brody was sitting on the steps with Dutch Mantel. So I said, "Brody, why are you still here?" He said, "I'm waiting on Jose. I'm waiting on Jose. Jose was his ride." You understand?
It was a setup.
I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, you want to ride with us?" I said, I go in and I let the guy know in the front that if Jose comes, that you already gone with me. He said, "Okay." He said, "You don't mind if I ride with you?" I said, No, brother, I don't mind." So when my ride came, the guy came, he was driving, his wife was sitting in the front seat, or girlfriend, she slid over to the center. Brody got in the front seat because he couldn't fit in the back, you know. You couldn't put him in the back, you had to put him at the front. So he said, and me and Dutch sat in the back seat. And that was in the middle. When I walked in the dressing room, Jose, Carlos Colon, And there's a red-headed guy that was part off named Victor. I don't know how you say his last name. There was two Victors, and one was Victor Jericho, but I think Jericho was a young kid with the black hair. This guy had kind of reddish hair, kind of like Chicky Star. You know, he was light-skinned Puerto Rican guy. But they were sitting in a football huddle. And as soon as Brody walked through that door, all three people done this. Like they saw a ghost. Jose immediately got up and walked out of the dressing room. That's when I went and sat there and started doing the drawing. See, Brody, Jose was Brody ride. They rode together that week. You understand?
Yeah.
And that's the truth. And I would swear, you know what I always wanted to do? Guess what I always wanted to do?
Go on, tell me.
I always wanted to tell that story on the Steve Walker show.
Steve Walker. I don't know the Steve Walker show. You'll have to explain.
Well, here in America, he used to be a policeman, and he used to be a bodyguard for
was it Jerry Springer? Yeah, I know exactly.
Yeah, he started with Jerry
Steve
Springer.
Wilcox.
But he do the lie detector machine. And the guy that do the lie detector is one of the #1 guys in the world. He do stuff for the FBI and everybody. I always want to get on that show, and everybody don't talk about Brody, get on that show and take a lie detector test.
Hey, Tony, can I ask a couple of things I want to clarify. You said that I'll ask two questions. You can refer to them both. So you said that Brody made two noises. Does that mean he was stabbed twice?
Yes, there was 2 8-inch cut. How I found out, the doctor, cause I was going nuts.
Remember, he was pissed
I was
off.
scared of the brother. I was 6'2", 285 pounds, with a 650 bench, and I was madder than a horn toad. I got angry. Like I said, I got this temper. Most guys would tell you that. Talking to me now, you wouldn't think so. I'm what you call it extremely. I'm either extremely nice or extremely the other way. There's no mother to Tony Atkins. You don't met people like that? I'm either all the way this way, or there's nothing in between.
Extremes.
Just like
Extremes.
Here. Right, yeah, it's just like here. There's nothing in here either, you know. If I, like Ern Laird say, if my IQ was 1 point less, I'd be a banana, you know. but anyway, there what was that question? I went brain dead on.
Well, you've already sort of confirmed it that he was stabbed twice. The other thing I want to clarify.
Yeah, well, anyway, the doctor came out and said there was 2 8-inch cuts. One cut the intestines. The other one
cut the liver. Yep, I remember all of them.
We got the one under control.
He said they tried to get him fixed up.
Your friend is stable. He's stable. That's what the doctor telling me now.
Then when he left, he heard some bad news or
I got to
something.
get back in there to fix the liver. He said, but he's going to be okay. He said, he's going to be okay. I said, oh, good. He said, but I need you to leave. I said, well, I said, no, I want to see my friend. He said, you got everybody afraid of you. Your size, your temperament. He said, but I was getting mad. I wanted to know what's going on. I almost went into the operating room. I came that close. That's when the doctor saw me peeking through the window. So he couldn't do his operation because of me. So I said, well, I don't want to do something that caused Brody death. So I said, you sure he's okay? He said, yes, come back tomorrow. You can see your friend tomorrow. So I left. Now here's something that most people don't know. And then I hear the interview with Savio Vega, which affirmed what I said.
Yeah, he said Savio Vega was there.
2 minutes after I walked out the door, he was a guy that cleaned up an alternate guy. He cleaned up the operating room. He said 2 minutes after I left the hospital, 2 security guys, this is his word, 2 security guys went in the operating room and told them to leave and stop working on the American. So that tells me Brody was not killed. He didn't die from the knife wound. They sent people, whoever was behind it, sent people to the hospital to finish the job. He said 2 security people came into right after I left. So evidently they was watching me. They left Brody at the hotel. The incident supposed to, in my mind, could be wrong. It's supposed to happen. Why would you leave a person like Bruiser Brody at the hotel? Why would 2 security guards wait for me to leave to go into the hospital? Then when I get back, there was a policeman that left wait. He just told him, I was going to talk to you later at the hotel. I got everybody, he said, I got everybody's statement. Everybody's statement. That's what he said, not me. I don't have yours. I said, well, I give you yours. He said, did you see what happened? I said, yes, sir, I did. He said, what happened? I said, excuse my language. I said, that motherfucker right there stabbed him. The police said, you mean Vader? I said, yeah, that motherfucker right there stabbed him. I said, ask anybody in the dressing room. He said, I did. He said, everybody in the dressing room said Rastafari did it. And he was stabbed when he came in the dressing room. You talk to Barbara Goodish. Talk to Barbara Goodish. She would tell you, she went to the police station. The police, this is what Barbara Goodish told me now, Brody's wife. She got no reason to lie to me. She said only one American came down to tell what happened. One went to the police station. Anybody else said they went to the police station? They lied. They lied. I would tell them to their face they lied, but I was there.
You've heard
the only reason I went to the police station is because Seeker, who is the father of Roman Reigns, went with me as my bodyguard.
Seeker didn't play,
with
boy.
me the whole time to protect me. Nobody, the reason I got out of Puerto Rico is because of Seeker.
That's like messing with Haku. That's like messing with Haku right there.
Yeah. A lot of guys want to jump in on stuff because it's popular, to make themselves popular. Nobody helped him. Brody had one friend. One. Ask Bobby Goodish. One.
You know, Ric Flair once claimed that he was in the locker room that day, which since proved that he wasn't.
I don't know why he would say something like that. You can look at the records of where he was booked that day.
I know.
Come on now. There's wrestling cars out there. You can look at the car for Bayamon. Why would Ric Flair there when they got Brody and Abdullah and the Sheik?
Exactly.
Why would they book Ric Flair there? When they got all them top names, the Iron Sheik, the Wowzer, the Alpha Samoa, Bruiser Brody, for God's sake. Abdullah the Butcher was there. You know, the Iron Sheik was there. Flair was nowhere there. I've never seen Flair in Puerto Rico. I went there a lot. He wouldn't work that little bit of ass territory at his time. First caller was not paid. The only way Flair would be there if Vince booked them. You know what Carlos paid? You think Ric Flair gonna work for $300 a match? Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Ask Ric Flair. Ask him what was his payday.
Oh, he'd probably say 30,000 or something like that. I'm sure.
From Carlos Colon? Yeah, right. Don't hold your breath, brother. Come on. See, sometimes guys will say things because they think you guys marks. They think y'all too stupid to look it up. Look it up. He was not there. I never in my life
Flair, boy.
Flair in Puerto Rico. Never in my life. And I went there a lot. I was a tag team champion.
Yeah, well, I tell you. But people do that sometimes. They jump on the hot topic doesn't mean it's gonna get anywhere. But yeah. But I said told that story. I've been hearing this since the early 2000s. This is back in when we still had interview DVDs. So yeah, matter of fact, I do have a DVD somewhere. I can't get up and look for it now, but it's in there somewhere. And that's close to 20 years ago. So he's been talking about that since the early 2000s. So lying about that now, it would make no sense. So, yeah.